Today we will talk about the cardiac muscles, right? So basically the cardiac muscles are present in the heart, right? We know that there are three layers of heart, which are like basically there are three walls. First is epicardium, oops, epicardium, right? Which is the outermost covering, right? Which is the outermost covering, right? And then we have, sorry, yeah, always some mistakes. Okay, then we have myocardium, basically, which is made up of these cardiac muscles, right? Cardiac muscles. Then we have endocardium. We have this endocardium, which is basically, which is like innermost covering of the heart, right? um yes, so basically these cardiac muscles are present in the myocardium, right? So now let's look into the structure of these cardiac muscles, right? Let's choose this red color, right? Okay, basically consider that this is one muscle, right? There is another muscle, right? Okay, one thing to tell you, let me finish the structure please, then I'll tell you. So this is a nucleus basically. Okay, basically these cardiac muscles are branched. These are branched, but in a single line in the vertical position, not in the horizontal position. It means that it will divide, but in the single cell. It will behave as a single unit, but not like this. So this will be wrong, right? So it will only be in a straight line. They will be in a straight line. They will not move in a horizontal position. They will move only in vertical position, right? So here there is a gap between these two cells, which is known as intercalated disc. This gap is known as intercalated. This gap is known as intercalated disc, basically, right? And in this disc, there are some tunnel-like structure. Okay, let me make this structure. There is some tunnel-like structure, right? This is a tunnel-like structure which is known as gap junctions. These are known as gap junctions. So basically, these are the gap junctions are some tunnel-like structure from which the material can move. The material can move from one side of, like, from the cytoplasm, or from the cytoplasm of one cell to the cytoplasm of another cell. Like there can be an exchangement through the muscle. Basically, what's the function of this intercalated disc or gap junction? Basically, through this, the nerve impulse flows. The nerve impulse flows from one cell to another. So for example, if there's a nerve impulse which is given, like there is a nerve impulse which is given to one cell, and it can easily be transmitted from one cell to another cell through these intercalated discs or these gap junctions. So what's the function of this gap junction? Basically it allows flow of nerve impulse from one cell to another cell, right? From one cell to another cell. Okay, one more thing, basically, that these cells are basically like, if we talk about humans, in humans these are basically mononucleated, or even though I have read in some books that they are binucleated too, but not multinucleated. Like in other organisms, they are multinucleated, but in humans, they are mononucleated. Like basically, I read somewhere it was written mononucleated, but somewhere it is also written binucleated, right? So most generally, we say it is mononucleated, right? And basically, okay, okay, basically, as we know that there are some striations. Okay, these cardiac muscles are known as striated muscles. Basically, they have actin and myosin. Actin and myosin both are proteins which make a arrangement. Okay, as you can see over here, I know it's not visible over here. Basically, like this. Um, there are some bands or little striations are present. The cardiac muscles are, first of all, they're involuntary, they're not in our control. These are involuntary and they are striated. But like as we know, the skeletal muscles, how like skeletal muscles are striated, these are also striated but in an irregular arrangement. Like in skeletal muscles, they are striated but in a regular arrangement. But over here, the cardiac muscles have irregular arrangement. They have irregular arrangement. Okay, let me show you the diagram of basically. Let me show you the diagram of how what kind of striations I'm talking about. Okay, I hope this will be clear. Okay, so let me enlarge this diagram so you can easily understand what kind of striations I'm talking about. So basically, I'm talking about these striations. Let me zoom in this. Basically, I'm talking about these striations. Basically, in muscle cell, like in the skeletal muscle, there are, like, we will discuss this thing in sliding filament theory, which will come in enter, of course. But there are just, you can see there's a striation, there's a regular pattern. Basically, there's a M line and there's A band and I band. Basically, writing over here. If I'm able to write, okay, let me write it. There's a A band which is made up of basically myosin, right? And it is also known as dark band. Basically, light cannot pass from this, that's why it is known as dark band. Now the second we have I band, which is made up of actin, and it is basically light band, right? So here I am. So A band, which is made up of a protein myosin, and it's dark band because it does not allow light to pass from it. And then second we have I band, which is it's not action, it is actin protein. Um, let me first, then I'll be writing over here. Actin, right? And which constitutes of light band, basically light can pass from. Okay, so as you can see there's a regular pattern, like, but in the cardiac muscles there is no such regular pattern, there's an irregular arrangement, right? So this was what I was talking about. And if we talk about the contractions, the contractions are quite intermediate in the cardiac muscles, like they are very fast in the skeletal muscles and slow and smooth muscles. But over here, the contractions are intermediate, right? The contractions are intermediate, and basically this all cell work as a unit, right? And yeah, I hope this is clear to you. If you have any kind of queries, you can ask me in the comment section. I'll be very happy to answer you guys.